Here I thought I was overdressed. But when I saw that wind set 11 miles per hour, I said, well, it's colder than you think. Huh? Oh. Oh yeah.
Well, you got a lot of footage up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I see the other day going down those streets.
Okay.
Yeah, nice kid, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Watching everything.
Lighting all that shit up. Yeah,
These drivers, man.
Yeah, like to lock up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm good with it. Everybody's name, by the way.
Oh, Wayman.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let me try to get to this.
Bro.
Same to you.
All right.
Look at that when I get back.
Wait to cross Northwest Highway at Marsh.
Still kind of clean. You ain't gotta eat off it, you just gotta walk over it. Not a bad idea. Thank you. This is starting to look like it was a good idea. Man, you gotta understand, I have been walking this area for over 25 years, and I never thought I'd see anything like this. This was all just unforgiving grass and holes buried, and some of my earliest videos are showing why I just stopped going this way. And now this is a damn good conduit for getting to the other parts of the city. With all the stuff they're building, I could almost walk to downtown Dallas. And one day I might do that. I might just wake up at like 8 o'clock, not wake up, but start at 8 o'clock in the morning and just proceed to just trotting down there. I think it's about 10 miles, maybe 5. And because the way I would do it here is I would walk all the way down to Mockingbird, take Mockingbird down to Denton, take Denton until it dead ends into something. And I'm pretty sure that I'd hit down there at City Hall. Walk to City Hall, say my piece, and walk back. Could I bike? Ironically, I could bike all the way there, but the hardest part is getting out of my own dadgum neighborhood. said they won't be done with that thing probably until the observational deck until about February of next year.
complete.
funny. The plywood probably felt a little bit better to walk on than that steel plate. Ran that red light.
Wait.
Somebody was parked where they weren't supposed to be. It's rude to stare, bro. I'm impressed. He pulled out of there, did a U-turn, came back around here, all while trying to navigate all this traffic. Oh, that's the supermoon. For all you werewolves out there, oh! What did Count Floyd? Oh! Oh! Oh, kids, I got some very scary things for you tonight. That'd have been a good Halloween costume. Come to the thing dressed like Count Floyd. I was gonna go all the way down. That's what I'm technically supposed to do. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. And then those. Howdy.
You got our copies and then a sign-in, just name and email for me.
Okay. Whew. What do I begin?
Good evening. All right, now, since it's already out of the cart,
Oh boy.
two things I'm going to apologize for before we start. One, it is November 4th. It is election day. For that, I am sorry. Didn't realize, didn't think about it myself until late last week. And I was like, too late. We're going to keep this train moving. Hopefully everyone's already voted early, so we're all in good shape on that one, okay?
Yeah.
Then the second thing, some of you may have had a little bit of an issue getting inside the building because we got something going on Mockingbird.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
We're just as frustrated as you are
Yeah.
hadn't noticed.
because we have to back and forth around between all of our facilities. So, from the beginning, I'm sorry. It's not our fault. Okay. Now, we always talk about our meeting goals, airline news, environmental concerns, and whatever we've got going on with infrastructure and development, and then airport news. These were our 2025 goals. We do have a group that we're now working with, so we will have some 2026 goals. But we won't do those until 2026. So see you early part of the year, hopefully January. We will continue to work on vacancies that we've got around the airport, if any, because most of you know that we are landlocked. We've got, like I said, some airline updates regarding Southwest Airlines, and then projects that actually impact the community. The airline news. I did speak with our representative from Southwest Airlines. They gave me a new link for this particular presentation. It is available to you to look at all of the transformative initiatives that they've got going on, including, if you haven't seen the commercial, I have, legroom starts early next year. And no one else, I'll need it. The other thing that you need to know about is assigned seating. So for those of us that have been flying Southwest and we have not had an issue, those that have had, they've heard them loud and clear. So there will be assigned seating coming up real soon. And with that, we're gonna keep it moving to environmental. Rachel is in the room, but they've given me some sheets for this presentation, so hopefully I can answer any of your questions in the presentation, because that's what we're gonna do on the front end. And then hold our questions till the end, if you would for me, please. Many of you probably already know, and we've had this campaign now for all of 2025, where we have 5 jet wind energy capturing pods close to gate 9. They've generated over 2.8 million
Megawatt hours.
megawatt hours. And then we are currently featuring 2 jet wind portable devices that are charging stations inside the terminal. Our plan is to continue that partnership with Jet Wind Power Corporation because it is beneficial to us all. All right, noise complaints, those continue, same location, same point of contact. What have we had between July and September 2025? Those numbers are right there for you. Everyone hopefully has a copy of the presentation. We tried to print out enough copies for you. And what you need to know is these are done by zip code, disturbance type, and whatever you have sent to us being a complaint. What are we looking for?
Oh, I'm just looking for a copy.
Ah, okay, she's got it.
Oh, it's out first?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
You're all right. All right. If you don't have these already, we printed out all of your helpful links so that way you can contact our environmental team. Now, the hot topics for tonight, the things that I'm sure our old timers know already, but if we got any newbies in the room, we're gonna talk about them anyway. Lemmon Avenue Streetscape Project. Manor Park is 100% complete. If you have not been past our basketball court that actually has Dallas Love Field all over it, we've got some beautiful days in the next couple of weeks. Go by. It's worth the look-see. As you see in the bottom photo, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony last month. Brought out council members along with the mayor. And Derek Harper was there to join us. So it was a fun day. And it was a beautiful day. The other thing that I will tell you is we continue to work on our triangle right at Lemmon and Mockingbird. As we have mentioned before, it will be a wonderful gateway to the airport. The observation deck that we're working on at Coker Circle. If you have not driven down Lemmon, please do. It's a beautiful sign out there that actually says Dallas Love Field Observation Deck. It's not complete, but it's on pathway. When the signs go up, that's always an indicator to me we're close. All right, now the other thing that I will tell you, because of this project, lane closures will continue, but our goal is to be complete winter 2025. Okay? The biggest subject for tonight, Mockingbird and all its wonderful construction. What I will tell you is our colleagues downtown gave us just as much notice as we gave you. As quickly as we found out, we shared it with the community. My preference, and this is me speaking personally, would have been to inform you when we met in August, but we didn't have that information. So as soon as we got it, our external communications team got on the announcement and made sure that we made it available to everyone. Now, for those of us that worked inside the terminal or were picking up anyone here at the airport, that exit for 1 week was our nightmare. We will admit that. But all of that work is being done in preparation for that event that I've mentioned all year long, FIFA 2026. So think of it this way. We all have to clean up our house before guests come to visit. And if we've got international guests coming in town, we're gonna clean up our house. And that's all over the city. That's all over the metroplex. The project, you need to know, will halt in front of the airport entrance just before Thanksgiving to allow all of our traffic that we expect to be traveling in and out of the airport. And it will continue following Thanksgiving holiday to be completed between our intersection at Cedar Springs and Herb Kellher all the way to Stemmons Freeway. So the construction, as you can see from the map, starts at Lemmon and continues all the way to Stemmons. All right, our big beautiful ARF station that we're anticipating for spring 2026 is on schedule. Overall, it's 63% complete. The access road has about 25 or more percent. And then the building, we will have, as long as we keep on schedule, we will have a wonderful opening for 2026 in the spring. And for those of us that have a chance to go into our old air traffic control tower, it looks beautiful from afar. All right, airport news. If by chance you have not looked at our local news in the last 24 hours, you missed this notification. We are all over social media. Questions at the end, please, sir. Did I skip one?
I think so. It says taxi Avery.
Taxi,
Avery.
yeah.
Sorry, thank you. Taxiway A. Overall, 79% complete. 1 through 5, of course, are done. And then phase 6 is the one that we are still working on. But that also is on schedule for spring 2026. All right, back to our donation drive. Headline news, we are in the midst of a government shutdown. How does that affect Dallas Love Field? Air traffic control tower employees along with our TSA. They are our colleagues. They are folk that we speak to every day. We know that they're hurting, but we are very proud of them that they continue to come to work and they do it with a smile. We continue to get posts on social media about how courteous and kind they are, even though they are now operating with the second week of no full paycheck. And for them, that is commendable. So what we have done is taken on a campaign with donations. If you feel inclined to participate, I suggest you drop off your location at the administrative building at 7555 Lemmon Avenue. And we are taking non-perishable items along with gift cards, baby wipes, diapers. I am proud to say that today we received from one of our FBOs a pallet full of toilet paper. And we all know we use toilet paper. No matter who you are, we use toilet paper. Now, I mentioned earlier that big party that's coming next year, FIFA 2026, June 11th through July 19th. It will be here. I was also given a little snippet that December 5th is the team day. That is the day that they will announce what teams will be coming to each location. And I will tell you from a personal perspective, I'm so excited. I actually live in Arlington and I'm 10 minutes away from the stadium. So, alternative route to work and to home will be my friend for 30 days. Now, a couple of meetings ago, someone asked me, if you weren't here, Rosalind, are we going to celebrate when we finish Lemmon Avenue Streetscape project? I admitted I'm always ready for a party. We've had one meeting already. Our second meeting will be later this month. We are tentatively scheduled for March 7th, 2026. Fun walk and run down Lemmon Avenue. It will be an opportunity for you to join us and look at all of the fixtures and art pieces that have been installed. And that has been, of course, in partnership with our Office of Culture and Art. I'm sorry, I did the acronym inverted. We do have a planning team, which are representatives from all of our neighborhoods that surround the airport. If you would like to participate, please let me know. We will add you to our virtual call list for the November 21st meeting. All right. We've only received one question prior to me completing the presentation. And that was, of course, how can you participate on a sprinkler contract? I did get another question this morning, but of course by that time it was too late to include it in tonight's presentation. So is there any question that we need to make sure we answer that we haven't done so already in the presentation?
So I just had one question about the Lemmon Avenue streetscape, or the trail basically.
Okay.
So I looked at the walk buttons that they put up there, and were there's any kind of ADA considerations as far as like for the blind, like the sensor ones, are they going to put those in, or the ones they got in there now, they're there to stay? Like there's ones where you can wave your hand, and it announces and everything, and they do have audible ones, but they don't have ones where you can wave your hand.
I don't know if those were considered, but I can find out and make sure that we include that in the updated version that will be posted online.
Okay.
And thank you for that suggestion. Anything else? Sunday, you got something?
Yeah, that was not included in the scope and it's out of scope. As at this time, it's not a requirement for the city of Dallas. So as we did exceed what the requirement is in what we put currently, and with the project is coming to completion, we're going to stick to what we have.
Yes, sir.
I had a question about the March 7th celebration for Lemmon Avenue Streetscape.
Yes,
Will
sir.
the observation deck be part of that?
The plan is that we will start at the observation deck to feature,
Okay,
because that's where we have the most parking.
okay.
Okay.
And is there a formal dedication of some sort being planned for the observation deck? Other than this
I think
celebration?
that might be the day that we do all of that.
And the completion date on that is supposed to be for the George Coker observation deck.
Do you know the completion date for the observation deck yet, Sunday?
we-
I don't.
Yes, our intent is to complete that by January. But the opening and all that is going to happen the same time in March.
Okay.
And one more question. Are they going to put a crosswalk that links the trail to that deck? Because right now you just have to run across the freeway at Median. I mean, not the freeway, but the road in Median.
There is a crosswalk by, I think, at Lovers. It's close to the park. Anyone going to that location, we'll use the crosswalk at Lovers to cross over to the other side of the road and use the sidewalk to get to the observation.
There's no sidewalk there. It's just all there is a trail that's like delivery vans and a little side street. But there's no trail there.
There's no trail there.
Right.
But there's a walk path there.
Okay, so the side street. Okay.
Yes, the side street.
All right.
Yes, sir. I thought you had a.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Has there been any change to the voluntary noise program, and is any change anticipated?
What kind of change?
Well,
'Cause
changing
we
the
still,
hours,
We still have the voluntary noise program. It's still the
and it's the
same.
same hours.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, and is Southwest abiding by that voluntary noise program?
It's voluntary. Yes.
But I
Can't
mean, are they
enforce.
abiding by it?
They do what they can, but sometimes weather is a factor and other things are a factor that come into
I
play.
understood.
Things beyond
Understood.
our control, but the airport is 24/7.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and if you've noticed, sorry, I'm Chris Swecker, Assistant
Yeah, hi,
Director
Chris.
for Department of Aviation, and if you've noticed an uptick lately, because of the federal shutdown and the impact on FAA, yesterday afternoon from 2 to 10, our flights scheduled arrivals were averaging 74 minutes late because we were on ground hold, because they were not letting planes leave other airports to come here because of the lack of controllers, unfortunately.
Sure.
So I'm afraid it's going to get a little worse, and they're probably going to be flights going into the night. They got all the flights in, they were just delayed yesterday. So if that keeps building, I apologize, but it's probably going to get worse
Well,
until it gets resolved.
Chris, that's very understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we've been getting a
situation.
lot of calls.
Yeah.
I've been putting in a lot. So well, I had one at 1 a.m.,
Yeah.
1:30. So
Yeah, unfortunately.
So again, another reason for us to give great kudos to our federal employees, because we're
Yeah.
not having the same effect as other airports. Especially when I got friends that live in Houston and
Yeah.
TSA hours are 4 hours
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Intercontinental.
Hours in that place.
Yeah, so the fact that our folk are still coming to work and they still smiling.
commendable.
Is there another seat available? Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that?
Keeps it right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The update to the voluntary noise program, is that meeting still scheduled for February of next year?
For voluntary. I don't think we have an exact date, but it will be sometime in the new year. We recently had our noise stakeholder meeting. I think it was back in September. So now, since we have the contract in place, our vendors are working on it, so we should have some updates in the new year.
Will we
We'll
all
keep
get
everybody.
invitations to that?
Those that are part of that list that are noise stakeholders.
Noise stakeholders, okay. How does one get on the noise stakeholder?
We can speak afterward.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
So for Thanksgiving week, all the construction stuff is going to be off.
That's what we have been promised.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not asking if it'll be done. I'm just saying it's going to be, you know, we're just going to move everything, move all the cones, and then
Construction will halt.
okay.
Just for a little bit of like that, just in case that's your concern. There might be some barricades still left out just because of the condition of the road, but at the minimum, 2 of the lanes will be open for drivers to go through. Then after construction, like Ms. Rosen said, they're gonna come back to finish up the median. Currently, the roadway is anticipated to be finished before the Thanksgiving.
And that's for the stretch between Lemmon and
Yeah,
Denton.
Lemmon and
Yeah. So and then
Cedar
starting in December, they'll move further west and do Denton to
Simmons.
Forest Park, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's the next section.
Yes.
And then all the way to Simmons, as Rosalind mentioned. So the whole thing will be done in, I think, March of 2026.
Right.
Set up.
So don't beat us up. We're doing the best we can.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, there was a lot of expedition to the scope right in front of this section because it involved the airport. So there was a lot of manpower that was put into this. That's why we could complete this section in less than 2 months. But once they move beyond Cedar Spring, it's gonna take much more longer because of the manpower that's gonna be put on that is gonna be stretched out compared to the long hours that was compressed into this phase of the project. And that's why you guys saw a lot of impact at the same time, because they had to crush everything into a very small window to get in and out because of the critical area this project is located.
And please know we all jumped up and down about
So the next phase is from, you said Cedar Springs all the way to like Harry Hines?
Simmons.
the Simmons.
Oh, wow. Well, that's going to be a mess.
Mockingbird.
Okay. Oh, and
Yes, sir.
so the greenscape, they're done with that on Airdrome?
As I said earlier, that's still under construction.
Okay, all right. And just the other thing is, when's the next meeting for that? Like they had that thing over at the Aviation Museum, where you guys do the the master plan for I guess what they're going to. What's that?
Terminal area.
There you go. The terminal area
The
master plan.
terminal area master plan, we have concluded. That was the last one we did. Was the last public meeting. Right now we are in solicitation to get consultants on board. We just put out the RFQ, which we received qualifications. We're currently reviewing qualifications. Once that is done, we will put in an RFPs. If you are interested, you have friends that are interested, they can keep an eye on that if they have submitted an RFQ. So that's the only way you're gonna get updates. Our intent is to set up websites where you can see updates on the project. Once that is set up, we're going to be communicating with the
Putting it in this.
Huh?
Putting it in these packets here. About the updates. You said the website.
So we're going to put that on the next GNP meeting.
Okay.
So that you can see and get updates on it. But I mean, off the top of my head, I know it's DallasLawfieldWhatNext.org. You can go there and find information on the master plan, but we'll provide information for the next GMP so you can, have access to it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
Help me understand, if you would please, ma'am. It says online flight performance, flights leaving after 11.
Okay.
What about arriving after 11?
And you're referring to the investors relations link?
Well,
Which
I'm
flight do you
looking, I'm looking at the times the complaints are received, and night hours are 9 to 5 to 6. Leaving, I'm interested in, are you measuring arriving from 11 to 6? 9 to 6, prefer 11 to 6. down at the very bottom, there's time complaints received.
Right here.
Uh-huh. Is that only leaving?
That's all complaints.
That's all, okay, so
Any noise, because typically you don't know if it's arriving or leaving if you're just hearing the noise. So that's just the complaints we get.
okay, so we'd have to sort that data by airline arrival times.
Someone's gonna find one open.
Is there a way to sort that data?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Do you want that sent to you?
Please.
I have here.
Yeah.
And if we have a link or some additional information that environmental provides us, we will include that in the presentation that we post online.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I have something, Ms. Robin, if I may.
Of course.
We've been, my Marsh team has been receiving an uptick of complaints or concerns regarding, I'm sorry. Good evening. My name is Rachel Simpson. I oversee aircraft noise and sustainability for the Department of Aviation. Here recently, probably within the last 4 weeks or so, we've been receiving an uptick in complaints about air quality, about the smelling of jet fuel or the possibility of dumping of jet fuel. So all we handle is complaints, and they've been coming from this area here regarding aircraft noise. But we are still taking those complaints in consideration. But we do suggest if you do encounter odd smells like jet fuel, to call 311, where our Office of Environmental Quality and Sustainability team can have help with that. So we've had an uptick with that, so we want to make sure that everybody is in the know of that. But nothing is going on at the moment. They have done quite a few investigations in the area and haven't came up with anything. But if any of you that are here tonight, if you should smell something or just, something odd, just still give us a call and we'll make that communicated to the Office of Environmental Quality. Yes, sir.
Rachel, shouldn't we see, if the planes are dumping, wouldn't we see the fuel coming out?
Yeah, but it's not happening. We even contacted FAA. That's not happening.
Yeah,
in certain cases.
I don't see that.
We don't know where it's coming from, but the Office of Environmental Quality and Sustainability, they've been receiving some calls too throughout the 311 system. So just know you can utilize that because our office, we handle noise complaints. But we still take those calls as well and reroute them to the proper department.
So, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
So this session, it's my first time.
It's okay. Ask your
My name is
question.
Mavis Lee.
Nice to meet you, Miss May.
I live right here in Mockingbird.
Okay.
We're talking about place and air and stuff. What is it about, like, the noise? That's not what we're about today. Coming on, right? I mean,
Is that your question?
Well, it's like the noise factor, and it's so close. When these planes come up off the ground, pretty much over here,
Yes, ma'am.
they're coming right over me, like stuff coming out of you, right over me, right here at Mockingbird.
Okay.
So it's like, what are we talking about here? Is this about quality of stuff coming out?
We are talking about a variety of things. I think you may have missed
I did.
the goals, but they are there in your slide
Okay.
about what we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
Updates that affect the surrounding community,
Okay.
news from our airline, and anything else that may concern you regarding Dallas Love-Field. Because we are trying to be a good neighbor, hence the name of the meeting. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
A couple of people left because it was hard to get in and it's locked.
Okay.
So I just want to let you know.
Yes, ma'am. We actually have made it ability to watch it virtually tonight, so hopefully they were able to log in to join us virtually.
That's pretty nice. Can I
We're-
go back and watch it?
We'll be gone by the time you get back to your house.
You're talking about this meeting?
Them out there? Oh,
No,
you don't capture, okay.
no, ma'am.
You're talking about you want to watch the meeting?
I was just curious if.
He's got it.
You can go to YouTube, Boring Dallas.
Okay.
I'll post it up there as soon as I get it processed. So,
What's it called?
Boring Dallas. But I'll if you like, I could send you a link. Just give me your email addresses.
Okay.
I give it to you.
Okay.
And then also, please note that we post the presentation online, including the questions that are posed tonight, along with the answers. Anything else? Deeds? Okay, yes, sir.
Are you getting any complaints about the stop sign that, I guess, in the city of Dallas in general, are you getting any complaints about the stop signs that they put over there by Webb Chapel and Shorecrest? They made it a four-way stop now along with the yield. I noticed there's quite a line that's forming there. I didn't know if anybody was complaining, but I like it, but.
Sunday may have some type of
Yes,
response.
we did get complaints about it. It has been addressed. The truth about it is, according to COG, there is studies that is done before you put a stop sign or street light or whatever the case is. They are safety measures. That intersection currently has met the warrant requirement for stop sign, so that necessitates a stop sign being in that location. So they can't do without it.
Good.
At this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
And just one more thing. So, y'all are done with everything south of the Lemmon streetscape. So going north, I heard rumors that there's going to be a quick trip that they're putting up there. Is the quick trip going to build another part of the trail that connects that to, so for the people that are north of Northwest Highway?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know about Quick Trip, but if there's something that affects airport property, I'm sure we have an answer, and we'll be more than happy to include that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did your Southwest contact happen to mention whether the data contained within this investor relations website is specific, or will have a section that's specific to Love Field, or is this fleet-wide? Do you know?
When I did my purview of the link to make sure at least I could get some kind of response on what's there, it appeared to me to be organization-wide, not just Love Field.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So we'll get Fred's data with the next meeting. Remember what we have. The question here is, we asked for data of the specific aircraft that Southwest would be flying through here.
Okay.
Okay, so Fred will get it to us, I guess, at the next meeting?
He should.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you.
Anything else? All right, before we close out, we've got some sweet treats that are left there on the table. I do not plan on taking them home. Please, don't feel hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. But take them with you. Enjoy them, share them. Someone has a sweet tooth in your world.
Excuse me, I ain't got hot, y'all. So.
All right, you are quite all right. We will get you some water.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to say happy holidays. Thank you all so much for being here. Look forward to seeing you in 2026.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good night.
There's a few of you that didn't sign in. Can you sign in for me?
Oh, scared to death of this camera at first, and it's like after a while you're just like, no, it gets right what GoPro doesn't. But the only thing I hate about it is this thing's a Cadillac. And with a Cadillac, you got to keep it clean. It's temperamental, you know. It's just, but when it works, it works. They poured a new concrete thing here. What's this here? This was not. I don't know. I can't remember what was here. think I got the entire Mega Man X soundtrack. Oh, you fucking ran that red light, didn't you? No, Sunday ducked out on me. That was kind of funny. I told him about the thing, and I looked at him. I was thinking to myself, we'll talk after. And he bolted. I was like, all right. We don't have. That's not part of it. That's gonna be fixed in. I was like, oh, that's what you think, Sunday. Oh man. Anyway, I'll have to put in a request. And then they'll fight it, and then I'll have to go all the way up to ADA, and am I gonna fight it? No one asked you to. Yeah, well, no one has to. That's not the way we have to think about things. What do you think? I'll get some footage of that the next time they have one of those budget meetings over there at the Polk Recreation Center. I don't think I'll do it justice going through at night. Have any markers? Oh, they do. There we go. 38 LED. So I guess this will go to aviation. Unless that's the type of LED that it's in there. Do they have them marked? Well, let's see. This one says 38 LED. Yeah, that's just a type. Okay. You know what? I got time. So it'll take me about 15 minutes. Actually, I don't need. I already know who to send it to. Yeah. Explore the earth. Oh, you're actually acting. I almost was singing your praises. I was like, hey, you're acting right. Take your time. Lock on. All right, so you're not gonna change. Okay. You know what, I'm gonna, yeah. Give Sunday a little parting gift. Yeah, I think this is gonna go to aviation. We'll see. All right, we'll go with the normal thing. It's a street light. Damn thing crashed on me. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're trying to type something in and then it gets all AI on you. God damn it, I hit the button. Man, I hope that's... Okay. No, I learned my lesson from Alex, man. It's don't take pictures, and when you take pictures, don't put it in the app. Put it in. Take pictures on your phone, then put it in the app later. Because the problem I'm having is sometimes I have to put foot in the ass, and it's like I don't have the original pictures, and I'm like, you guys have the pictures in the ticket, and I was like, that they have all the power at that point. It's nice to be able to put it in the email chain. Hey, yeah, I need to fix this. Wondering if I'm gonna run out of battery before I get home, and I know I won't be able to hear it because this thing politely beeps. I don't know if there's a setting I can change on there where it's like, I want it loud. I want you to wake the neighbors and let people know, hey, battery's out. I never realized that the, you know what, I haven't played Mega Man X in 30 years. I rented it from Blockbuster. I was playing it. It's an exciting game. There's a lot going on in it. But the soundtrack, I didn't realize the soundtrack was so long. But they put little geek Easter eggs in there. There's a crossover. You can find a Street Fighter tidbit, Easter egg inside of the game. Anyway. That's what they're talking about, jet fuel, huh? Is it strong? Well, see, it's hard to tell if it's that. Well, no, it's jet fuel. It's jet fuel. That strong smell of kerosene. And it's mostly coming from the guy taxiing on the thing and letting it out. How do you want to handle this?
Wait.
Yeah, they put blind. Yeah, they put blind, like auditory buttons, but for the hearing impaired, like I said, there's not even a chirp. Okay, there's a chirp. Now you know what? Leave it alone. He's like he said. I pissed him off so much. He's like, no, this is the minimum. I was like, all right. I'm not gonna argue with it Sunday. I just, you know. I was asking, was that part of the consideration? So you're gonna drop the issue? Yeah, it's... I'm not really sure who the Wave ID ones are for. I don't know if it's... I think it's enough that you hear the chirp and you press the button. And I'm sitting there talking about this, and in my own neighborhood, I keep having this problem with Larga and Webb Chapel, where I don't know why the buttons don't work half the time. I don't know if they do that on purpose or what, but I need to put in a ticket about that. I'm like, look, I keep having this problem. That's the next project. We'll do that next week. Put a mental note in there. Look, put a ticket in on this and then escalate it. Because that's what I seem to have to do every time at that intersection. I'm like, look, I keep putting in tickets about this button. First I had it was a hard time, like somebody ripped it off the pole and then they just left it. And then I had to put foot in the ass to get them and they put brand new buttons on both intersections, and I was like, I just asked for it on the one, but thank you. Because the dispatch people kept getting it wrong. So I'm not gonna put another ticket in, I'm just gonna take the one I have. I got a card from the lady from transportation, and she'll say, oh, he retired. I'm gonna send it over to this person. Oh, no registration sticker. That's interesting.
Wait.
Sunday said, oh, there's a walk path there. I was like, there is not, Sunday. There's a side street. Did you mean the side street, Sunday? And he said that with a straight face. Oh. He said that it is a sidewalk. I was like, there is not a sidewalk, Sunday. There's a side street. He says, no, that is a walk path. I was like, that is not a walk path. That is a drive path. I mean, I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying, you keep telling me this stuff. What I want to hear you say is, we'll work on that. You might be bullshitting, but at least it makes it seem like you're not adversarial. We'll work on that. Not, no, there's already a walk path there. I'm like, what? No, sir, there is not. And I think to myself, Sunday, do you actually come down here and walk at all this? The only time we had a meeting of the minds that we weren't in conflict was I told him about the oil that was sitting on the trail. He said, man, he said, no, they shouldn't have left that there. And I was like, all right. It's an environmental issue, right? But he didn't take care of it. I said, look, I'll take care of it. You know, Alex wants to hold them accountable. My whole thing is, I just think, like, I agree with the one statement he says, which is we don't need them. We don't need them anymore. We, the people, can take care of all these problems. And if the city, like I said, the city can either help us out or they can get the fuck out of the way. But you can't sit here and be an obstruction to people making progress in the community. I'll ask one time, and then after that, you know what? I might put some foot in the ash, but most of the time I'll probably just do it myself. I see something that needs fixing, I get a pair of pliers and I'll go to town on it. It's different for these lights because I'm paying for these lights. And I have a feeling that the manufacturer is supposed to be taking care of all that stuff. And so I was like, hey, this is still under warranty. So that's why I put the ticket in about that light back there. That thing is probably still under warranty. I was like, hey, y'all told us the street light was supposed to last for a decade. It's burned out within a few months. Somebody got to fix this. Oh, we're sorry, Mr. Blah, 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 but that's probably not how it's gonna go. I was like, do you want me to pull out all your lights and sit there and tell everybody in other governments, hey, these guys don't honor their word. Their lights don't last longer than this. It's a good way to lose a contract. Good way to lose several. Instead, I got a city employee who looks like he's overworked, because he probably is. And then I come in there and I say, hey, it's nice that you got these things here, but you already want to put motion detectors in. I'm not going to say that aviation got the cheapest signal markers. They seem to reserve that for my area. What I am saying is, what I am trying to figure out is, what are the ADA standards? Because some people have ADA lights that you wave, and it chirps, you wave at it, and then that accounts as a button press. I don't know if that was for the blind. I thought that's what it was. It's for the blind. I don't know. Or it's for the. Oh, this is what he's talking about. Okay. So I'm gonna try this one. I didn't think about this one. I've been crossing the wrong spot. I'm gonna come back here, and then I'm gonna try to use this, and I'm gonna see if there's any crosswalk paint at this location. I didn't see any, but he's trying to say that this is where I'm supposed to cross at. I was like, with all due respect, Sunday, to quote the president, the best Republican president of all, well, the second best Republican president of all time. You know what? That's debatable. He probably was the best Republican president of all time. You're a goddamn liar. It's a toss-up between Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. He said, as a black person, how can you say that? I was like, Abraham Lincoln freed black people, but Teddy Roosevelt freed society. Teddy Roosevelt's the reason that I'm walking around here and I can gripe and complain and bitch. You know, there was a period of time where, like, not unlike today, where moneyed interest was just taking over everything and threatening to crowd out the little man. And then you got Roosevelt coming in there, all the Roosevelts raised in that tradition of community housing, community involvement, communities feeding each other. In other words, the people who had to step up when these oligarchs wouldn't. And so the Roosevelts had a mean streak in them where they were going after these guys every chance they got. And they came out of that community. Those people on the East Coast that, like, look, man, you're not going to come in here and build these nasty tenements. You're going to give us, fire, like I said, you're going to give us great fire escapes. You're going to give us breathable areas. You're going to give us parks. When the people got together and practiced their First Amendment, Second Amendment, all their amendment rights from the Bill of Rights, and put foot in ass. And I know you'll probably say something negative about Roosevelt. Point well taken. He's probably racist. He was rich. I get all of that. But he tried. And he succeeded in giving us today, like I said, a lot of the footholds that we have. Both Roosevelts. No, I think that's exactly what they're saying. They're saying, okay, oh, that's what she was talking about. She said when the sign is up, that's usually when things are starting, or they're wrapping up. All right, I'm gonna get some footage of that. If my camera's still running, I might be talking to myself here about Roosevelt. One of the first presidents that put in protective tariffs and trust. But see, like I said, Trump is an oligarch trying to pretend to be. He's not even pretending. He's an oligarch. He's just there to. He throws people a bone every once in a while that supported him. Make no mistake, that man's all about making money for him and his friends. He doesn't give two shits about the common man, even though the common man was stupid enough to vote for him. That's all I got to say about the guy. He's got all these other problems, but all these other problems are darkness compared to the light that is his inability to give a shit about anybody else. He's a sociopath that everybody voted, like I said, that convinced people that he was on their side. Not everybody, just those morons. The 66 million morons, or 67 million morons. this one on the? I don't think this one is on the thing. It's never worked. That's the weird thing. I've come down here a couple times. It's super dark over here. Yeah, it's not on the. It might be. Yeah, this might be it. So there's another division, and then there's 2 divisions in the circle. This is it. It is an encore light. All right. Well, light not on. Man, that was easy. I thought I wasn't gonna find it, but yeah, this is an encore light. Wait a minute. No GOLF, GON FLN tag on pole. Now they capitalize poles if I was talking about Polish people. There we go. You heard me. You know that you're supposed to capitalize that. And you didn't. But you know what? I'm just, like I said, I'm glad to have this. When I was growing up, you wouldn't have this camera. You'd have if I was doing this in the 80s, I would have had to get a Polaroid camera that goes eep. And then I would have to write it all down on a notepad, and then I would mail it into the city, and then I would have to call them up and tell them, hey, I got this, and I'm sending you a picture of this, and can y'all take care of this? Mostly it would have just been me calling, because back then the city was a lot smaller, and I would have just been calling in, hey, this light's out over here. But that intimacy is long gone. When they put that first automated IVR system in place for the phone trees. Yeah, because I think this is the only one. So this is one, this is the one separator, and then there's the other separator, and then you get to the circle. I don't know. They'll look, I don't know what they're gonna do. They'll say, we fixed it. And I was like, you didn't fix it. You didn't even look, did you? Why are you lying to me? Do you think that little of me? Oh, man. Well, they started to lay down the trail. Yeah, this is a matter of time. They're not going to open this up until they get the big dome or whatever it is they're putting on top here. They had a picture of a compass. That's what I want to see. I want to see where the compass is. All right, so this is parking. Okay, so I'm thinking that compass is over there somewhere, and I guess this is it. They're gonna put this big giant thing up there, and maybe they still will. I think, nope, yeah, the compass is over there somewhere. Okay, well, yeah, they're close. They say they're not doing the big opening until, yeah, they're pretty much done. They're just waiting for that thing to put down on top here. said, boring Dallas. She said, you got to change the title. I was like, nah. Maybe he's paying for it. But yeah, this is, and I haven't seen any security. So you park your car there and you pay for the app, and there's no way of knowing. There's no lighting here. There's every opportunity for somebody to come in and jack this thing up. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after a while, like I said, maybe they got cops that roll through here, but they're not going to hit every. The thieves are just going to wait for that window. My car is easy pickings. They said there was a second light, but it's supposed to be up that way, and I didn't see anything. Pretty sure I asked in the thing, I said, are they gonna put a crosswalk at George Coker and Lemmon? And Sunday's answer was, well, no, you have a crosswalk over at Lemmon and Lovers and Lemmon. Way over there. That's his answer. Well, no, you can just cross over there. I was like, how many people are gonna cross over there? Oh, are you serious about that? That's the thing. That thing that's about 500 yards that way is supposed to be how you enter in here. I must be getting on his last good nerve, but that's okay. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. So they got the sign up, 8329. I just had to put in a crosswalk request. This guy's probably making a U-turn. Nope, this asshole's coming in. So he can make a U-turn. Okay. Let me see if I can find a better way. I guess I'll just put a request in and say, look, I need an ADA crosswalk. So the people coming in will park here, and then there's not even a walk path. There's a fence there, not really any kind of walk path, and yeah, this is Dallas stupid. It doesn't matter that the facility is under camera observation if there's not lighting for the cameras to catch anything. If they're infrared, they're just going to catch black and white and not really make out any features. I'm not saying that you got to sit here and like give it a spotlight. You know, you're worried about the airplanes. Just put some dome lights. So there's some light. That's guard lights or security lights. That's it. Just one little light on a pole, and then after that, you're in the darkness. Okay, so I guess this is where you're supposed to park, and then walk over here. All right, like I said, if you're disabled, you're like a third-class citizen, but you can come here where at this limited spot, and then you can walk. No, I didn't hear it, so I don't know how much. I'm hoping that what it is it died out right after I was taking pictures, and what I was trying to say was that I don't even know if I got the observational deck. They've got the, if I didn't, so I'll fill you in here. Basically, they got the trails in. They're still waiting for the big pod to put over the top of it, and I guess they'll go from there. Meantime, what I was illustrating was the guy from the city Sunday told me that he expects people to cross over there 500 yards away at the Lemmon and Lovers intersection where there's a light, go across, come down this side street just to be able to go to this observational deck, basically walking 1,000 yards. And so what I've seen here is, okay, you probably can't put a crosswalk here you could put a crosswalk here at George Coker for people who, like I said, walk on two legs, but for other disabled people, I guess they can go down to where there's another intersection over there, and it's perfect. They can put crosswalks there over at Crest Haven. And so I was taking pictures of Crest Haven, and I'm gonna put a ticket in for a crosswalk there. We'll see if they shoot me down. You know, they usually do. Or they'll say, oh, that's a good idea, Mr. Young. It'll take us 6 months to plan that. It's been 6 months since I put in, it's been well over 6 months since I put that ticket in about the intersection of Denton and Shorecrest, and there still is no crosswalk there. Understandable, because they're doing some kind of pipe construction over there, and so they didn't want to be, I guess they're gonna wait for them to finish, and then I'll see if they paint it, and if I don't, put an ass. But back here, like I said, it's just lazy. And I was trying to say is, they act like they're doing us a favor. I was like, you're not doing us a favor. These people who live over here did not sign on for a busy airport and a major 6-lane street. Y'all came in here, grew super fast, and now you're starting to face a little opposition. So they threw this in here as a pacifier. But this is not enough. This is a good start, but it's not over. It's only on one side. You need to put it on that side too, because people are going to be getting off in the airport, and they need to be able to walk up and down here. Nobody's going to be sitting there trying to walk across 6 lanes and and a median with a suitcase. I guarantee you, like the last time I had one where it was 110 degrees or 115 degrees. I'm looking over here and this guy is dragging a suitcase with wheels, sweating his ass off. I said, man, where are you headed? He said, oh, I'm just going over here to the he said he was going over there to what's the name of that thing? Turtle, not Curtis, whatever, Turk Creek, whatever, over there by Herb Kellher. I said, man, get in, I'll give you a lift. Took him over there. I was like, there's no way, you should not have been walking around in that hot sun. But even if you had to, no design, like I said, no sidewalks, no shade, nothing that was going to help him out. And that was as they were building this. People walk. People will always walk. People, like I said, that's what got us out of the trees. We're a walking species. We're not a rolling or a riding species. We're a walking species. I got a bad back that attests to what happens when you sit down too much. The human spine wasn't designed to sit for long periods of time. Anyway, I'm gonna put a ticket in on that. We'll see what happens. I have no idea how much charge I have left on this thing. I don't even hear it when it does what it does. I went up there to the thing and I saw the light blinking and I was like, all right, I'm cool. And through my headset, I never hear it when it dies. That's my gripe about this 360. Yes, there's many gripes. There's the fact that it's big and bulky. There's the software, which is getting better. I will say, the Insta360 Studio is getting better. Even for a Linux user like me. I still have to run it through bottles. But they did updates lately that you can't use soda to get it to work. So what I found out was, I guess it doesn't like the optimization in soda abstraction layer. So plain old wine will work just fine. I made a rhyme there. I'm a poet and I don't know it. I'd use wine and it seems faster. Like it would take a couple of days to process 360 videos. Now, probably done in about a quarter of a day. A quarter to half a day. So there has been speed optimization. So kudos to the people over at the Insta360 Studios. Maybe it'll, you know, like I said, whoever been griping to them or something. Still don't like the fact that there's no native open source Linux version of it though. The battery is amazing, considering all the stuff like I said, you're running 2 cameras in one, and I have the batteries usually last about 3 hours. This battery, I guess, didn't. And maybe it has been lasted for 3 hours. All I know is I got the meeting in there, coming back, and I got about 30 minutes, maybe about an hour. You know what? It's about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Me yapping. The setting I have it on is 4K. I don't try the 5.3 or 8K or whatever bullshit they advertise. I'll probably wait. I don't think that's ever going to be the standard. Famous last words, but I don't think that's going to be the standard. Mostly because the network infrastructure is just not here that can handle 8K streams. Like I can put my videos in 8K, but no one will ever see them, and they won't really look. And I don't have a TV that'll play it. YouTube doesn't play 8K videos, so it's a feature without an infrastructure. It'll be one of those things where you're making 8K videos, and maybe 20 years down the line they'll start putting stuff in 8K when they got the pipes for it, and you're like, hey, I was doing that 20 years ago. Here's one of my early 8K videos, and it'll look like crap because it'll use some old algorithm that is like that algorithm in the first generation format, and they're like, Yeah, that original 8K wasn't that great. They said 8K, but it was actually technically, and they'll say like it's 7,000 something 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 suboptimal. It's like, yeah, they advertised it as 8K, but it was actually 5.3 upscale. We can't really emulate that all that well, and there's some quality differences, and you'll read all that, and all it tells you is you wasted your time filming an 8K. Why do I sound cynical like this? Because I have been through 3 format wars at this point, and it's happened every time. When I had 720, they had promises of 1020p, and it was never really 1080. It was never really quite 1080. It was like 960 with some caveats. Then 1080 wasn't enough. They had, what was it, 1440, which is 2K. Not quite there yet. I'm burning up my chip for something that ain't gonna look as good as they say it's gonna look. And now I get the 4K and 8K. And I was like, no. I've been through this before. You're not gonna fool me. What would I do with 8K video? And it's 8K 30. I don't think it's 8K 60. Although frame rates are supposed to be way higher than this now. Well, like, the human eye can't distinguish blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. But getting that extra 100 frames per second, people seem to notice. Really what I need those higher frame rates for is, you won't notice it when you're playing it back at normal speed, but you will notice it when you're going slow-mo or when you're taking still images. I need it for when a guy comes behind me or a car's driving bad and I need to capture a license plate. That's when the higher frames really helps. The higher frames and the higher resolutions. But I could be standing here, walking, bobbing up and down, and there's a good chance I'm going to catch a clean license plate from this distance. That's what better frame rates and better resolutions get me, is they get me better license plate photos. But I really hate this camera because it's really more niche than anything. The only reason I put it in 360 is it looks amazing. It's fun, it's gimmicky. But what I kind of wish, and maybe I could do that later. I wish I wish that when I have a 4K, a 360 video, that I can take a screenshot and it not be displaying in what it says, spherical rectangular format, where it looks all weird looking. It looks like a kaleidoscope or a cubist painting. And then you have to sit there and explain to somebody, well, that was a 360 video, that's why it looks like that, but you can clearly make out the tree limbs blocking this. And you got a tired, salaried city employee who just does not want to bother. And so they close your ticket out. I couldn't make out these photos. And I thought they had a photo format where, like, I can post this photo like a JPEG, a 360 JPEG. And so far, the only thing I'm able to do is it takes it snaps photos, and yeah, it's 360, but it's an MP4 file. It's a still MP4. I hate that. I had to post it up on YouTube, and then you can click and pan around and look at it, but you're looking at a photo on YouTube. I don't understand why it doesn't, it's not baked into the browser, or the new picture, or whatever picture app you have on your phone or whatever can just look at the 360 video. 360 picture. So my whole thing is 360 video is useful, not but it's useful. It's just we're not ready for it. I mean, this thing is so useful, and like I said, I say it's useful because I can use it. It has saved my life a lot of times so far in making these civic videos. I'm out in the middle of talking to somebody, talking to the police, or talking to people in the area, and there's some shady dude trying to come up behind me starting something. But he knows it's a 360 camera, so he kind of holds back. He's like, he's about to do something, and he's like, oh, no, I'm gonna leave him alone. But it's also useful in that I can't catch everything. Sometimes there'll be an accident in my periphery, and this thing will catch it perfectly. And I pan around, I was like, oh yeah, I got the whole thing. It's right there, you know. There's where the accident happened, or that's where the situation happened, or this. You could be retreating and still get all the footage. So it's a useful tool without a useful application. I guess how do I put this in a way? It's the tool is useful, but it's like having a supercomputer when you got a board with a nail in it. It's like it's like, how do I use this to drive in the nail? Or it's more along the lines of, yeah, it's like giving a supercomputer to a caveman. It's like giving. There's a lot of assholes. I always forget about that, man. This city is just chock full of them. And it got loud. It got loud quick. And I can't finish my thought here. Like I said, it's like having a caveman with a supercomputer. It's useful, it's just not useful to him. All right, what do we got going on here? We got the arrow. I could go, I should go. Oh, I ran for nothing. If you had just waited. I wish they had a timer. Like I said, I like they have this system in Korea where the way I understand it is they have a light that tells you, or they have timers on the lights that tell you when the red light's about to change. And here they did it backwards because, you know, America. So they put a timer on the green light. And when they noticed that when they put the timer on the green light, it caused more accidents because guys were sitting there trying to dart through the intersection faster. Versus if they had a timer on the red light, people would kind of know, you know, how much longer it was going to be. Let's go ahead and be patient and do this. Maybe it was the other way around. But all I know is the way they did it, the way America does it, it makes it worse. Hello? Hey, what's up? How'd you know to call me on my rugged phone? Yep, in the field definitely. No, I'm just finishing up. Haven't put a ticket in on them yet. Yeah, I had this old guy that kept talking to me the whole night. Really annoying. Yeah, okay, like I said, you're like the, what do they call those guys where they have them sitting on top of a block of ice and asking them questions and they deprive them of sleep and psyops. But I'll put it in. I'll put in. ADHD, yeah. Yeah, wait, I didn't hear you. What happened? You said you had to get what down? Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, that's what I was. So that's the, yeah, and that's the bad news is I think they're giving that out. Damn it. No, I'm you know what? I'm gonna be on radio silence for the next 10 minutes. I'm gonna listen to you, but I don't want to say anything on this camera because, like I said, I got the 360 camera. I got some good stuff going here, and I'm gonna finish up. But just go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna say very limited things because I don't want to cut the audio again. And in fact, I can't cut the audio on the 360 videos. Hey, you talk freely. You're not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna pick you up. On tonight on those cars. Yeah, it's happening. No, I got what I needed. They're not going anywhere until somebody puts foot in the ass. Got you. Okay, that's the way we'll answer them. Yeah. No, don't know. Don't know. No. Right. Okay. Yeah. 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 Hey. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, yes, yes. Yes, I saw that, and I found the information somewhere else, but I think it was a different address. And I have not, and so when I sent it, there was no unreachable. So I think it got to the people they're supposed to get to. No. You would have, well, I was going to say you would have known, but they didn't do a reply all, let's put it that way. They haven't said anything to me. It's in the subject field. Okay. Yeah. 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 There ain't one. You're talking about that other matter. Yeah, there ain't one. And it, right. Right. And like I said, you're responsible for half of that right of way. So put it on your half. Put it on your half. Don't give me this excuse that they need to put it on their half. No, sir. If you see this happening and it's costing us money, put it on your half. See? Yeah, yeah. Right. The bottom line is longer than it needs to be. Liability. Okay. All right.